Governor's asked me to review with you some of the data that our department exchanges with him on a weekly basis in terms of the traffic situation that we continue to work on. Here you see a chart that plots the dotted line that you see, or the dashed line that you see, is the traffic times, the travel times, from three different areas. One in the morning, eastbound on 95, from 95 north onto 195 to the, to the state border. The other from 95 south onto 195 east to the Massachusetts border, and the other in the westerly direction, the opposite direction. You'll notice that, if you can go back up a little, the travel times are approximating right now. Prior to closure of schools, in the easterly direction in the AM peak, we had about a 5-minute differential during the week. On weekends, a little less, or about equal to what it was pre-bridge closure. Now that schools have let out, you can see that the actuals that we're experiencing now are about the same as the pre-bridge closure. Coming from 95 south, different matter. Prior to school closures, the differential was between 5 and 10 minutes in the AM peak. And since then, it's reduced down to 5 minutes, but it is still a bit longer in the easterly direction coming from 95 south than it was prior to. We're working on that. That's the one that we're working on to bring those those actual times experienced now back down. And our engineers are working with several consultants to model and look at various alternatives that we can potentially use. In the westerly direction, the opposite is true. We actually reduced, prior to school letting out, we reduced the times of travel by about 5 to 7 minutes during the AM peak in the westerly direction on an average basis. And now that we are in the summer months, we see them closely approximating or slightly less than what the travel times were in the westerly direction prior to the closure of the bridge. The next set of charts is the PM peak, and you can see the PM peak is a little bit more exaggerated. That is, the travel times are a bit longer in the PM peak than they were prior to the closure of the bridge. Anywhere between coming from 95 north, anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, and in the PM peak coming from 95 south, they're anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. Again, even in the PM peak, the travel times in the westerly direction are actually less on the average than they were before. So if you go in both directions, they about balance out. Next slide. These are just maps of the travel routes. These are the traffic volumes. The monthly average traffic volumes shown in the dashed line of about 80,000 vehicles in each direction. In the westerly bound, it's a little more than 80, about 82,000 vehicles per day prior to the bridge closure. And you can see over time that those lines are converging, particularly now that we're in the summer months. They're getting even closer to what they were prior to the bridge closure. So the travel times are coming down since the closure of the bridge. The amount of traffic is going up to back. People are assuming the same traffic patterns that they were taking prior to the bridge closure. Next. Accident rates, we're doing pretty well The accident rates, depending upon the week, there was an anomaly on 1 week, but pretty much the actual number of accidents happening now is equal to or less than what it was prior to bridge closure in the easterly direction. And in the westerly direction, it's consistently less than what it was prior to the bridge closure. Next. The severity of crashes are largely non-injury crashes. They're property damage only. And the types of accidents are generally almost exclusively sideswipe or rear end. About half of them are rear end collisions. Next. This is a chart of accidents from the closure of the bridge. You can see that there was much higher than what was previously experienced. To now, the trend is downward to where we're coming equal to or better than what we were before the bridge was closed with the accident rates. In both east and west directions are trending downward, even more exaggerated in the westerly direction that has declined substantially. Locations of the accidents are primarily right now in and around where the 2 lanes from north and 95 north and south merge onto 195 east. A good number of accidents happen at those locations. Other clusters we see in and around the interchanges of on-ramps and off-ramps. That's about it for the traffic, and that's pretty much the briefing that we give to the governor and now to you on a weekly basis.